St. Petersfield, and of course a good crowd across the way from Hartford as well.
The field in a pretty good shape again, as always here at St. Petersfield. It has the brown strip here in the middle where they have trouble getting the grass going. Also sees a lot of action, so it gets torn up pretty good, but it's in dry condition. And the only factor weather-wise might be the wind. It is, we said, it's a stiff breeze. It seems to be blowing from our right to left, and you see how that affects the game goes on. We're not sure. We think Hartford's going to run the ball quite a bit. We know that the Mounties like to mix it up some.
Ron Holmes and Rudy Campos are back deep for the Hartford Hurricanes to receive the Nate Seitz boot. As the Mounties going left to right here in the first quarter, Hartford right to left, and there's the boot, and the ball game is underway this afternoon at St. Petersfield. On the run, grabbing the football as Holmes gets it across the 30 and squeezes his way out to about the 34-yard line. A whole bunch there to bring him down. Trevor Wolf getting down on the kickoff team to make the hit. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Hartford Hurricanes, just shy of their own 35. The nose of the football on the 35-yard line, so that's where they will mark it. Left side hash mark. Jeremy DeGrasse is the center. He leads the club out of the huddle. He's over the football. The quarterback is Hathorn. Durand and Campos are the setbacks, and they got a man wide right. Back to pass, Hathorn. And he throws it long, and it is incomplete. Almost intercepted by Matt Sherman at the Mountie 39-yard line. As Hathorn had a couple of men deep, Andy Ayotte was the intended receiver. And throwing against the wind, Hathorn underthrew it. And Sharon almost picked it off, and Matt Sharon has been injured on the play, and they're rushing out to administer to Matt Sharon. 2nd and 10 for Hartford at their own 35-yard line. We said they're going to run the football a lot. First play, they throw the long bomb against the wind.
They sent the receiver on a fly pattern down the sideline, and Hathorn kind of hung the ball up there. Matt Sheeran had good position, wanted to get it. The receiver came back and actually acted as a defensive back and knocked it away from Matt. And I'm not sure what happened to Matt, but he's down on the ground, and he's taking off his helmet. It looks like he's in pain. The trainers and stuff are all looking at him. Hopefully he'll be all right.
I'll tell you, that's one injury they could ill afford. Of course, they can't afford too many injuries. A superb ball club, but not a lot of numbers. And he's one of the valuable players for the Mounties, both offensively and defensively, and he was the man that broke up the pass attempt. Hathorn throwing to Andy Ayotte, and he almost picked it off, and he was injured on the play, and he is still down here off to our left as they administer to him.
It looks like they're looking at one of his legs, his right leg, so I guess we're going to get a couple players to come maybe help him off the field.
So early going, just one play from scrimmage. Hartford will have it 2nd and 10 at its own 35-yard line. And they're going to help Matt Sharon to his feet.
We talked about the Hartford, the running backs. They're missing the two top running backs, Gendron and Elmar Brown. Elmar Brown was told us not to be starting, and Gendron might see some action. They were not in the opening series, and Hartford trying to cross them up by going deep and trying to get a big score. But as we said, Hawthorne's pass just kind of hung up in the wind, and Matt Sheeran a nice defensive play on it, and unfortunately sustained some injury to his right leg. Looks like it might be his ankle or something.
And he is being helped off the field here. Now he's trying to see if he can do it himself without the help of a couple of teammates, but they're helping him off.
When Matt went to break up to play, he jumped up high in the air, and the intended receiver came back over his back to knock it away as like a defensive back, and I'm not sure if when he came down, Matt might have landed wrong on the turf out there and rolled his ankle over.
11:33 remaining first quarter. Just one play from scrimmage as Matt Sharon helped off the field here. Hartford 2nd and 10 at its own 35-yard line. Durand and Campos again are the setbacks. They got a man wide right. Hathorn is the quarterback. Hathorn along the line of scrimmage. Deep pitch now to Campos. Sweeps it right. Gets it across the 40 out to about the 41-yard line. Pete Rosieri and Scott Outsley there on the tackle. And that picked up 6. It'll be 3rd and 4 for the Hartford Hurricanes.
This time Hartford ran a quick pitch, and they did a good job of sealing things off. Campbell was able to turn the right side of the line and turn it upfield before Rosieri and Outsley came over and made the stop, but not before he got a nice gain out of it.
So they're going to mark it at the right side hash mark now. Coming out of the football game is Jeremy Durand. So John Howard is in. Power I set up close to the line of scrimmage, and here's the wingback around play, and getting across the 45 out to about the 47-yard line is Ron Holmes on the carry. Birkenhead on the tackle.
For the first down.
Going to mark it at the 47-yard line, pickup of 6. It'll be first and 10 for Hartford at that point.
Again, a nice job there by the Hurricanes. They ran a little misdirection play to counter, and running back able to turn up and get the first down and keep the drive going.
Curtis comes wide left now. Hathorn, the quarterback. They got a man tight on the right. Couple of setbacks. And in motion now is Holmes, right to left. Hathorn on the pitch to Holmes. Sweeps it left. They're going to stuff this one out. It loses a couple back to the 45-yard line. And Pete Missouri in there to make the stop.
That's what the United really gets some penetration from the defense. Now they sent Nate Slice on the defensive end on the blitz. They got some penetration and missed them. There's a quarterback position to make the tackle. Lost a couple. It'll be second and 12 for the Hurricanes. Their own 45-yard line. Only 10 minutes left first quarter here in St. Peter's Field. Going wide right now is John Howard. A couple of setbacks behind Hathorn. Goes to Durand up and doing, might have lost about a yard. Sights it, of course, Larry here and Ryan Reagan were all there to make the tackle. Lost about a yard back to the 44. It'll be 3rd and 13 for Hartford at that point. They're on 44-yard line. Ryan Reagan, the usual. They're starting inside linebacker along with Mike Elsley. They're going to make a lot of big things. They have to fill some of the slack off by Elsley. Ryan stepped up that time and came out of the blitz, got some penetration. He and Larry here were able to snap that play up for no gain.
Try and adjust this station.
Was in. He goes wide right now. They're going to be headed wide left is Andy Iod. Hathorn back to pass, looking, shuts it down. The
ball is broken up by
John Howard. So Hartford picked up a first down on this first series of the ball game, but now they're faced with a 4th and 13 at their own 44-yard line.
Good job on that.
Andy Ihot will push.
To try to establish the running game as they always do, and they do have a very versatile passing attack with Scott Ousley as a quarterback. He's able to roll out and throw well on the move, so we expect him to kind of run for a while, then maybe go to the passing game. Unfortunately, Scott Ousley won't have Matt Sharon, his outstanding wide receiver, who's still on the sideline here. They're looking to his leg. They were putting ice on his ankle a little while ago.
Wide left is McGrath, tight right, Birkenhead, wide right, Rizzieri, Stevens and Beraldi, the setbacks out of the eye behind Scott Ousley. 1st and 10 for the Mounties. As the handoff goes straight ahead to Beraldi, picks up a couple out to the 27-yard line. All bunch there to bring him down. It'll be 2nd and 8 for the Mounties. Quinn Colgan get on the stop for Hartford.
Up the middle. And he's shot down on the Hartford about the 25-yard line. The pickup of about 50 yards. Nate Sykes on a carry.
Left side hash mark. That's Stevens is the deep back on the guy. Wide left is Willie McGrath. Now Slade marks him out. First down play.
Beraldi.
15-yard line. Beraldi.
Pick up of about 8.
And Curtis.
7 down. And 2 yards to go.
Suddenly shit the bed.
Comes and goes.
Ball placed on about the 19-yard line. The slides up the middle. Pick up of about 1 yard.
On with John.
Third down and about 1.
17-yard line. That's Hartford. Ian was right.
There's no play with the keeper.
Picks up 3, and it's a Mountie first down. As on the stop, Jeff Payne for Hartford. They're going to mark it at the 14. First and 10 MSJ, no score, 7:08 left first quarter here at St. Peter's Field.
Scott also just came up on the first snap count and moving for the rest of the line did. The quarterback sneaky able to get the first down to keep the drive going.
They mark it between the hash marks now. Mounties operate out of the power eyes, Seitz and Stevens, the up backs, Beraldi, the deep back, and the ends are tight. Slate marks them out. And the handout to Beraldi fumbles, and Hartford is recovered. Beraldi tried to take it off left tackle, fumbled the football. Hartford recovering the fumble. Curtis turns away the first serious threat of the afternoon. Hartford will have it first and 10 at its own 12-yard line.
It looked like the hole was there, but Matt Beraldi didn't get the handoff correctly from Scott Elsley. Never really had it, and the ball popped out, and Curtis there for the Hurricanes to pounce on it quickly.
Jeff Ball in wide left now. A wing on the right, a lone setback behind Hathorn. Man in motion. Hathorn takes it left on the option, looks for room, cuts it inside, gets it to about the 15, maybe the 16-yard line. Greg Outsley there on the tackle for MSJ.
Mounties did a good job of turning the option play in. Hathorn read it well and was able to dodge back under there and get about 4 yards on there. A play that looked like it wasn't going to get much, but he did a good job of cutting back against the grain and diving ahead for a couple yards.
It'll be a second down and 6 for Hartford at the Hartford 16-yard line. 6 minutes left, first quarter, no score. Wide right goes John Howard now. Durand and Campos are the setbacks. Hathorn takes it right on the option and picks up maybe a yard before he's stuffed. Seitz over there on the tackle, and Ryan Cragen over there as well. It'll be 3rd and 5 for Hartford at their own 17-yard line.
The Mounties come out and we have a timeout on the play here.
17-yard line. Timeout on the field.
We'll mark it between the hash marks now. Jeremy DeGrasse is over the football. Has got an official's timeout for a second here.
Looks like Nate Seitz had problems with his helmet again.
They're still administering it. Appears to be a knee injury to Matt Shuren. They got ice on his knee here. The bench right in front of us. Durand will be a wing on the left. Campos the lone setback. They have a wing on the right as well. Here's the double reverse from Durand to Howard. Howard takes it out to the 25-yard line or so before he's dropped. Maybe got to the 26, pickup of 9. Scott Outsley on the tackle. And Ryan Cragen was there as well.
Again, Hartford early on showing a lot of misdirection, but that time they ran the double reverse. The wingback came through. The good hold there broke a top of the line of scrimmage and got the first down before Scott Outsley and Ryan Cragen could corral him.
First and 10 for Hartford, their own 26-yard line. Hathorn now goes the first man through, and that's Campos. And Campos nothing doing. He's stuffed at the line of scrimmage.
Brought down by Keith Koloje.
Koloje there on the tackle. And
again, Keith Koloje doing a good job of getting penetration from his defensive tackle position, stepped across the line of scrimmage and able to wrap up the line, but the running back behind the line of scrimmage and wrestle him to the ground. And again, very important for the Hurricanes to get something on first down. They want to stay away from these second and long and third long situations where the Mounties can blitz more.
Actually lost about a yard back to the Hartford 25. They have it second down and 11. Hathorn now, play action, takes it right on the option, looking, throws, and it goes incomplete as it went off the numbers of Jeff Marino.
It looked like that time Marino was open, ball was there, and he couldn't quite pull up with it. Also, another Hartford receiver in the same zone. It looked like it might have been mixed up the pattern because they had two Hartford receivers close together, but Hawthorne did deliver the ball on the money, and Marino couldn't quite corral it.
So it'll be 3rd down and 11 for Hartford at their own 25-yard line. Marino was upfield about 7 yards or so. The down and out pattern toward the far sideline. Curtis in now. He's wide right. Howard in motion left to right. Third down play for Hathorne and company. Here's the deep pitch to Campos. Sweeps it right. And he gets it to about the 31-yard line before he's stacked up there. Pickup of about 6, but it'll be 4th down and 6 for the Hartford Hurricanes. As Mike Mulcahy made the stop for MSJ.
Again, the Mounties do a good job of stiffening here, getting forcing the Hurricanes to punt.
It'll be Ayotte back inside his own 20 to boot it away. Birkenhead and Rosieri back around the Mountie 37 to receive the boot here. Well, again, the Mountie defensive unit is stiffened. No score, 3:48 left first quarter. Ayotte gets the boot away against the wind. It'll come up short. It'll hit on the Hartford side of the 50-yard line and blown dead at the Hartford 47-yard line. So the Mounties with excellent field position. They have it 1st and 10 at the Hurricane 47, going left to right here in the first quarter. Hartford going right to left.
Looks like it was about a 16-yard punt, as he really didn't get very much in it. Kind of popped it up here in the Mounties doing with excellent field position. Last time they had a good drive stall, but they turnover, and they want to try to cash something in this time.
Jeremy Fleming over the football. Birkenhead tight right, McGrath tight left. Outsley the quarterback. The setbacks are Stevens and also Moraldi. And they shifted, and I believe the Mounties have jumped off sides here. It's a legal procedure against MSJ.
One of the down linemen got confused when the Hartford defense went to a shift. They were all going to step over a gap, and it threw off on the interior lineman for the Mounties, and he jumped offside.
The Mounties have it 1st and 15 at their own 47-yard line after the illegal procedure penalty. Mark it at the left side hash mark. Stevens and Moraldi the setbacks. The wing on the left now, Rosieri, and the ends are tight. Scott Outsley barks him out. Outsley play action, drops it back, looking, rolls right, fires right, complete to McGrath at the 42, inside the 40, and down at the Hartford 35-yard line. Pickup of 18, and a Mountie first down. Rudy Campos on the tackle along with John Howard.
A good call. The best down and pass is on first down, and Scott Outsley rolled a bit to his right. He caught William McGrath on a crossing pattern with the backside tied in, and he was wide open, and Scott delivered right on the money, and the Mounties pick up a big first down.
1st and 10 for the Mounties, the Hartford 35-yard line, right side hash mark. Rosieri, so wing on the right now as Seitz and Beraldi are the setbacks, and the ends are tight behind Outsley. Handoff goes to Seitz straight ahead, and he crunches his way down to the 30 before he's finally dropped, maybe squeezed to the 29. Lost the football, but I believe the whistle had already blown. As Jeremy Durand on the stop, along with Payne for Hartford. Got it to the 30, pickup of 5. 2nd and 5 for MSJ, the Hurricane 30. No score, 2:17 left first quarter here at St. Peter's Field, MSJ and Hartford.
Hartford plays a 5-2 defense, and last time they had their linebackers tight, but after the pass, they dropped the linebackers off a little bit more, so that will open the running game up a little bit more for the Mounties.
Now they operate out of the I. Stevens the up back, Beraldi the deep back. Outsley drops it straight back, shoots it down the middle, and it is intercepted by Curtis at the 12, 15, 20, and he's dropped at the 21-yard line as Ryan Reagan made the tackle. So a couple of Mountie turnovers here this afternoon. They lost the fumble earlier, and a pass interception there by Jeremiah Curtis, who I believe is also the guy that recovered the fumble before, as a matter of fact. And Hartford again dodges another bullet. They have it 1st and 10 at their own 21. Minute 46 left first quarter, no score.
I think it was a cross-up in the pattern there because the Mounties had 2 receivers going down. Once they got downfield, they ran an L pattern. It looked like Scott Outsley expected him to go over the middle, and he kind of let him through the ball in the middle, and Jeremy Curtis stepped up and got the interception for the Hurricanes.
Campos the lone setback behind Hathorne. Hathorne, play action, rolls right, throws right, and it is complete to Durant coming out of the backfield as he grabbed it right around the 27 and got out to about the 30-yard line or so. Pickup of about 9. We got a penalty marker down. Possible that it would be a roughing the quarterback.
Nate Seitz had a hold of Hartford and was wrestling him to the ground just as he threw the ball down, and that's when the flag came out. There is another injured player down. It looks like it is Scott Outsley, a little slow getting up for the Mounties.
Just guessing on roughing the passer, but we'll see what the penalty marker is all about. And another injured Mountie player. The Mounties have lost the services of Matt Sharon here because of an injury on the first play of the game. This is going to go against Hartford, so I presupposed incorrectly.
They're talking to Matt Beraldi, the one of the tri-captains for the Mounties. It was the play went for about 12 yards, it looked like, as Hawthorne did a good job of throwing the ball as he was being wrapped up by Nate Seitz, and it looks like it might be our other guess that would be a holding penalty.
The injured player apparently is Scott Outsley across the way. It is holding. The only reason I said roughing the passer is because when I looked back upfield, Hathorne was shaking his arm, so we only guessed on that one. And, of course, incorrectly. Outsley appears to be okay, Scott Outsley, as he comes walking off the field. And they did finally call it holding, right?
Yes, they did.
Holding against Hartford, a 10-yard penalty. And they mark it back to the Hartford 7-yard line.
It's a big penalty for the Hurricanes. Not only they had a first down going the other way, but now they're backed up inside their 10. And with a tough defense like this, the Mounties, they have a ways to go.
Hartford first and 25, the pitch to Campos, and he takes it left and gets it across the 10 to about the 11-yard line. Pickup of about 4, Birkenhead on the tackle. It'll be second down and 21 for the Hartford Hurricanes. Coming down on a minute to go, first quarter, no score here at St. Peter's Field.
You're back up in your own end zone. You want it in your own zone. You want to take things cautiously. You don't want to avoid a costly turnover and give the other team excellent field position. And the Hurricanes ran a little pitch here and try to get something to the outside, but the good job again by the Mounties of turning it back inside.
We got a timeout on the field. Hartford's timeout. 49 seconds left first quarter. No score. We'll be back after this 30-second break. 39 seconds left first quarter. Hartford has it at its own 11-yard line. Second down and 21. The Red Sox and Yankees play late today. It's a 3:15 start time, so we don't anticipate missing too much of that, only an inning or two. So we'll pick that up in progress after the completion of this football game here this afternoon. Hathorne, the quarterback. Duran and Campos are the setbacks. So Gendron and Alamar Brown have not played, as the call goes straight ahead to Campos, and he gets it to about the 14-yard line, a pickup of 3. It'll be third down and 18 for Hartford. Keith Galoche there on the hit for MSJ.
Checking the injury update, Scott Outsley has come back in for the Mounties on defense. Matt Sheeran is sitting on the bench. He's taken off his shoulder pads and has a jacket on, so he probably will not see action the rest of the game.
But he's still here, and that's a good sign.
Yes, that is.
And he is eating a lollipop, and that's a better sign. Duran takes it wide right. Shane Newton is in. He's wide left. And we've got an official's timeout for a moment with 10 seconds left first quarter. Now the clock running again as Hathorne is faced with a third and 18 for the Hurricanes, his own 14-yard line. Hathorne now. Play action, drops it back, shoots it right, and it's intercepted.
And for the touchdown, there is a flag on the field.
Have a penalty marker down, hold the phone. That was the final play of the first quarter. We'll see what the penalty marker's all about.
They're calling roughing the passer on the Mounties, and so it's going to nullify the interception by Outsley.
So wipe it off the board, the 25-yard pass interception for a touchdown by Scott Outsley, as the Mounties were penalized on that. We said roughing the passer, which is what we said a couple of plays ago. We were just a couple of plays ahead, I guess.
Hang in there long enough to get your calls.
And that is the end of the first quarter. We've played one. The score, MSJ nothing, Hartford nothing. Back after this 30 against MSJ, will put the football at the Hartford 29-yard line.
So third and 1.
They have first down the yardstick. I think it's supposed to be third down now.
Yeah, because it's a 15-yard penalty, if I'm not mistaken. It'll be third down about 2 for Hartford at their own 29-yard line, going left to right here in the second quarter. MSJ going right to left, or it is a first down. Now they finally change it.
It is a...
Okay, it's first and 10 for Hartford at their own 29-yard line. I know they had 18 yards to go for a first down, but it is first and 10, their own 29-yard line. In motion, Duran, as the handoff goes to Campos off right tackle, and he gets a couple before he's really hit. Got it to the 31-yard line. Scott Outsley there, Matt Feraldi there as well on the hit for MSJ. Give him a couple. It'll be second and 8 for Hartford at the Hartford 31-yard line.
Go back to the play at the end of the first quarter. That's a big play. The ball was thrown a little behind the intended receiver. Scott Outsley did a nice job stepping up, right at the end zone, untouched for 6 points, but it was called back because of the penalty. It gives the Hurricanes, instead of losing 6 points, it gives them a first down to be able to keep the drive going.
Right side hash mark, Hathorn bumps into his own man. The handoff to Duran, took it left, and he loses a couple back to the 29-yard line. Pete Rosieri hit him first. He had some help. Brian Gragan was over there as well.
Again, a little mix-up in the backfield of the Hurricanes. It might be because some of these running backs aren't used to working with the first-string quarterback, Hawthorne. And that throws off the timing of the blocking and the good pursuit by the Mounties, so stopping them for no game. And then again, here are the Hurricanes on a 3rd and long situation.
Well, they're 3rd and 10, went back to the original line of scrimmage as it lost a couple. 3rd and 10 for Hartford, their own 29-yard line. Hall is in at an end spot. Now as Hathorn rolls right, throws the ball. Incomplete, intended for Andy Ayotte up around the Hartford 35-yard line. Ayotte was close enough, I guess. He was the intended receiver, even though my original thought was that he threw that away, but he was being chased and really pressured.
Again, Nate Seitz putting pressure on Hawthorne. He's been coming in all the time from inside linebacker position, and he's been a hold of Hawthorne throughout the game, and Hawthorne just kind of winged the ball out there, and likely didn't get the intentional grounding call.
It'll be 4th and 10 for Hartford, their own 29. Ayotte back to boot around his own 17, and he feels the ground ball snap and pops the punt up. It'll hit on the Hartford side of the 50, but rolls into Mountie territory inside the 45 and rolls dead at the Mountie 41. So we got a pretty good roll. The Mounties have pretty good field position. 1st and 10, their own 41-yard line. Early going 2nd quarter. No score here this afternoon at St. Peter's Field.
Again, the Mounties with good field position. They've had good field position pretty much throughout the game. They have moved the ball fairly well, except both tries have been stopped by turnovers, and if they can hold on to the ball this time, they might be able to get 6 points here. As we said, they are moving the ball pretty much at will against Hartford.
Jeremy Fleming over the football, wide left, Willie McGrath, tight right, Birkenhead. Stevens and Baraldi at the setback, slot left, Pete Rosieri. Scott Outsley, 200-pound senior quarterback. Outsley on the handoff to Baraldi, straight ahead. And he gets it to about the line of scrimmage and gets crunched under right there. It'll be 2nd and 10 for MSJ. Lost about a half yard. They have it at their own 40-yard line. We'll still call it 2nd and 10, a little over 10. Jeff Payne on the tackle for Hartford.
That time Payne did a good job of getting inside penetration here and messing up the blocking, and was able to wrap up Baraldi for basically no gain.
9:50 left, first half, no score. MSJ at Hartford. The up back is Stevens, deep back Rosieri out of the eye, wide right goes Baraldi. The ends are tight. Outsley barks him out. Outsley now fakes to the first man, takes it right on the option, pitch to Rosieri. Rosieri 45, 50, and Rosieri down at the Hartford 46-yard line. It's a Mountie first down. About a 13-yard pickup for Pete Rosieri. Campo's on the tackle.
Scott Outsley ran the option to perfection that time. He got the outside containment man to come in and try to tackle him. When he did that, he pitched the ball out to Rosieri, who has very good speed. We've seen all season long. Goes down the sideline for about a 13-yard gain, and a nice option play there by the Mounties.
Mounties have it 1st and 10. They mark it at the Hartford 46, right side hash mark. Baraldi wide left this time. Sights the up back. Rosieri the deep back out of the eye, and the ends are tight. Outsley barks him out now. First down play. Outsley on the handoff to Sight straight ahead inside the 40 to the Hartford 38-yard line before he's dropped. Pickup of 8. It'll be 2nd and 2. John Howard wraps him up along with Jeremiah Curtis for the Hurricanes.
Again, Nate Seitz doing a good job. The offensive line giving him some room to run, and Nate's has been running hard all season long and able to pop outside, get a nice gain.
Baraldi will be wide left this time. Birkenhead tight right, tight left is McGrath. Stevens the up back, Rosieri the deep back out of the eye. 2nd down play for the Mounties, the Hartford 38. 2nd down, a long 2. The fake to the first man by Outsley, takes it left on the option against the green inside the 35, inside the 30, and down at the Hartford 27-yard line. A pickup of 11 for Scott Outsley on the option, and a Mountie first down. Durand on the tackle along with Marino for Hartford.
That time when they ran the option, Scott decided to tuck it underneath his arm, and he used his good speed and split a couple defenders, and was able to get down inside about the 27-yard line and pick up the first down for a nice gain.
8:15 left, first half, no score. MSJ at Hartford. The Mounties did have a touchdown call back, a 25-yard interception return for a touchdown by Scott Outsley, wiped off the board by a Mountie penalty. 1st and 10 for the Mounties. In motion left to right now, Craig Stevens. As the handoff goes to Sights on right tackle inside the 25 to the 24, picks up 3. It'll be 2nd and 7. John Howard wraps him up for Hartford.
I'm using a little motion there to give Hartford another look, and they use Craig Stevens as the motion back. Also ends up as the lead blocker for Nate Seitz and able to make up a little bit of hole so Nate can pick up about 3 or 4 yards. And the Mounties have had pretty good success getting something on first down, and they are staying away for the most part the second and longs and the third and longs.
Jeremy Fleming leads him out. Greg Outsley is in. He's now tight right. He's in for Birkenhead. Tight left McGrath. Veraldi the deep back. Sights the up back out of the eye. Wing on the left is Stevens. Stevens is in motion left to right. Scott Outsley, the quarterback. Outsley goes to Sights off right tackle inside the 20 down to the 19. He picks up 5. So the Mounties will be faced with a third down in about 2. Jeff Payne on the tackle for Hartford.
Pretty much the same play they ran the previous play when they bring Stevens in motion and run him up as the lead blocker, and Nate Seitz right up behind him. I'm sure Coach Zangali must have some sort of play, a counter off this, or after showing this look a few times, we'll run a different play off it to try to get a big gain.
Birkenhead back in tight right, wing right Stevens, Sights and Veraldi the setbacks. Third down about 2 for the Mounties. The Hartford 19. We've got penalty markers down. Illegal procedure against MSJ. Coach Tony Zangali cannot be happy about the Mountie penalty situation here so far this afternoon.
There's been a problem that's hampered the Mounties pretty much all season long there. For their advantage, though, they're such a strong team offensively, they can overcome this. But now, instead of having like a 3rd and 2, they've got a 3rd and 7, and they have to change the play.
3rd and 7 for the Mounties. The ball marked now at the Hartford 24-yard line. They mark it between the hash marks.
And out to Sights. Ball placed down about the 21-yard line.
No, but this time they ran it from the different side. They put the wing on the right side as the Stevens in motion towards us on the left side, and it's the same play they've run the last three plays.
Mounties will have it at the Hartford 21-yard line, and they have it 4th down, about 4. They go for it, 4 down territory here. Couple of setbacks, Sights and Veraldi. Stevens a wing on the right, he's in motion right to left. 4th down play for Outsley and company. Outsley on the option, takes it right. Hasbro, 15, 10, 5, 10, 5, touchdown. Scott Outsley, a 21-yard touchdown run on the quarterback option of the Mounties. Get on the board. They lead at 6-0, 5:39 left first half.
We just talked about how Coach Zangali would have some sort of rig off the play. It looked like the same play that they run the 3 previous plays, but they brought Stevens, the wingback, in motion. This time, Scott Outsley faked the ball to Nate Seitz and kept it around left end. Nobody for Hartford contained on that side, and once Scott got around the corner, nobody was going to catch him. He went in the end zone untouched.
And it was on a 4th down play. Matt Curran in to attempt the extra point against the wind. Scott Outsley the holder. 21-yard run for the touchdown on the quarterback option by Scott Outsley. Snap is down. The kick by Curran is up. And the kick is good. It's 7-0 MSJ back with a kickoff after this 30-second timeout. Receive the Matt Curran boot here as the Mounties lead at 7-0, 5:39 left first half. 21-yard touchdown run on the quarterback option by Scott Outsley. And Curran with the extra point. Here's the kick. And this one will go to Holmes at the 17. Takes it straight ahead, gets it across the 25, and a whole bunch of people there to drive him back as he got it to the 27. Trevor Wolf was there to make the hit. He had a lot of help. He was the guy that got down there first to make the initial contact.
Again, the Mountie scoring drive, 59 yards. They did it all on the ground, able to come over a 4th and long situation to get the touchdown. They did it all on the ground, and their offensive line opening up some good holes.
Going to mark it at the Hartford 29-yard line, so the Hurricanes have it 1st and 10 at that point. Wide right, Jeremiah Curtis. Campos the lone setback, double wing setup. And in motion now, Duran from his wing back spot. Duran gets the call. 30 as he switches left, 35, 40, 45, 50, 45, and finally caught from behind by Scott Outsley at the Mountie 43-yard line.
That time the Hurricanes offensive line did a good job of sealing the outside containment for the Mounties. Duran able to turn the corner. Scott Outsley missed him initially, but stuck with him on a good hustle.
On the carry.
26-yard pickup by Duran. Wing back on the right side.
About 26 yards.
And he got the call. And they're going to mark it at the Mountie 45, 1st and 10. Hartford. MSJ wants a timeout. We'll be back after this 30-second break. Out in front by a score of 7-0, 5:11 left first half here at St. Peter's Field.
Coach Healey calling a timeout for the Mounties and coming out and giving them a good old-fashioned tongue lash. And the Mounties have, the Hartford's moved the ball fairly well here. They picked up about 4 first downs, and he doesn't like what he's seen.
Marino's in, he's wide right again. The double wing setup. Durant again in motion. This time Hathorn drops it back, being chased, fires down the middle.
Broken up by Ryan Birkenhead.
Down around the Mountie 37-yard line. Great defensive play by Ryan Birkenhead. 2nd and 10, Hartford at the Mountie 45.
Ryan came up from his deep safety position on the crossing pattern and did a good job of knocking the ball down, and he timed it so he didn't get called for pass interference. He got there just as the ball did and knocked it down. And again, when Hawthorne goes back to pass, he's getting pressured by the Mountie's interior linemen, also the blitzing linebackers. In fact, Hawthorne has not completed a pass yet.
The market near the left side hash mark. Got a couple of setbacks now behind Hathorne. Howard's in motion right to left. And the inside handoff to Durant inside the 40. And gets it to the 35, maybe the 34 before he's dropped. Ryan Cragen there on the hit, and also Scott Outsley.
Again, the Hurricanes do a good job of running a little misdirection in the backfield. They fake one running back one way and come back with the other tailback the other way, and it's confusing the Mounties a little bit. They pick up a big first down here to keep the drive going.
Picked up 11 yards. 1st and 10, Hartford. They're going to mark it finally at the Mountie 35-yard line. So a pickup of 10 and a Hartford first down. Campos and Durant are the setbacks. Howard in motion now, left to right. The ends are tight. Hathorn quick drop, fires over the middle. It goes incomplete. He had Andy Ayotte at the Mountie 25, right on the numbers. He couldn't hang on. It's 2nd and 10. Hartford at the Mountie 35.
One of the reasons Andy Ayotte could not hold on to that ball, as soon as they got there, Ryan Birkenhead and Scott Outsley came up and delivered a hammer and knocked the ball loose. It was a good play. It was a quick look and run over the middle, and the play was working good, except that Ryan Birkenhead and Scott Outsley came up very hard and broke the play up.
Clock stops with 4:38 left first half. MSJ out in front, 7-0. Marino back in, wide right, and tight left is Ayotte. Got a slot right, that's Durant, couple of setbacks, and now Howard in motion left to right. Hathorn rolls right, throws right, it's up for grabs, it goes incomplete. He wanted Durant coming out of the backfield, covered well by Beraldi. Down around the Mountie 33-yard line. It floated a little bit. Even if Durant came up with it, he would have been well out of bounds. It'll be 3rd and 10, Hartford at the Mountie 35. Clock stops with 4:34 left first half.
Hawthorne has a tendency when he throws the ball to just kind of fly it up there, and that when the wind kind of got it, just took it out of bounds. I don't think the receiver would have had room to catch it in bounds if he'd been able to track it down. So, again, the Hurricanes found themselves on a 3rd and long.
Campos the lone setback. They got a wing on the left, a wing on the right. Durant the wing on the left, Howard on the right. Durant in motion, double reverse. Durant gives it to Howard. Howard against the grain, and he's crunched under at the Mountie 31. After all that, it only picked up about 4 yards. Pete Rizzeri was over there on the tackle for MSJ. It'll be 4th down for Hartford at the Mountie 31. 4th and about 6, and Hartford wants a timeout. Timeout on the field. We'll be back after this 30-second break. The MSJ 31-yard line. Wide right is Howard. Durant and Campos are the setbacks behind Mike Hathorn. Hartford quarterback. Hathorn along the line of scrimmage on the option, pitches it back to Campos. Campos sweeps it right inside the 30, and Campos is down at the Mountie 26-yard line. Still a few yards shy of first down yardage, and the Mounties will take over on downs. Tim Brisbane on the tackle for MSJ.
The Hurricanes running the option play a little bit slow developing, and after it looked like he might get some yards early on, Tim Brisbane did a good job of coming up from his cornerback position and making the tackle, and also got some good pursuit from the rest of the Mounties defenders. And we'll see what the Mounties can do this time when they're back on the offensive end.
So the Mounties take over on downs. They have a 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line, left side hash mark. Birkenhead and Beraldi wide right. Beraldi a slot on the right now. Rizzeri and Stevens are the setbacks behind Scott Outsley. Outsley drops it back, rolls right now, looking, fires right, goes incomplete. He threw it behind Pete Rizzeri coming out of the backfield. Up around the Mountie 30. It'll be 2nd and 10. MSJ, their own 27. Clock stops with 3:43 left in the first half. 7-0 MSJ.
Unofficially, we have Scott Outsley 1 for 3 with 1 interception here early on. It really hasn't done much passing. The running game has worked well. That time he had Rizzeri coming out of the backfield, but Scott never got his feet set and threw the ball behind Rizzeri.
Tight right, Birkenhead. Tight left, McGrath. Rizzeri is a wing on the right. Couple of setbacks behind Scott Outsley. 2nd down play. Outsley play action. Rolls left. Throws left. Complete to Sykes. 35-40. And he gets it across the Mountie 45 and dropped at the Mountie 47-yard line by Marino.
Nice play there by the Mounties. They had Nate Sykes come through the middle of the line. They ran a little L pattern. Scott Elsley hit him. He was wide open. Somebody for the... sides, and he got a good gain out of it.
20-yard pickup and a Mountie first down. They have it 1st and 10. They're on 47. Clock running with 3:24 left first half. Missouri is a wing on the left this time. The ends are tight. Play action Outsley. Drops it back. Being chased. Rolls right. He's going to keep. He's at the 50. 45. 40. 35. And down finally at the Hartford 33-yard line. Scott Outsley. Pickup of about 20 yards and about a first down. Andy Ayotte on the tackle for Hartford.
That play right there shows exactly what makes Scott Elsley such a dangerous quarterback. He has got a very good arm. He rolls out. Nobody was covered. He just took the ball downfield for a big gain.
And MSJ wants a timeout. We'll be back after this 30-second break.
Brilliant, Chrysler.
For 33, the Mounties lead at 7-0. 3:09 left first half here at St. Peter's Field.
You know, talking about Scott Elsley, he showed some great speed there as he went down the far sideline, picked up a good gain, and keeps this drive going as the Mounties take their second time out of the first half.
McGrath is wide left. Slot left is Beraldi. Birkenhead and Stevens the setbacks behind Outsley now. Scott barks him out, gets the snap, and drops it back. Throws left, penalty markers down, throws left, and it goes incomplete. He overthrows Matt Beraldi down around the Hartford 25-yard line. Beraldi covered by Hathorn, and we'll see what the penalty marker's all about.
By the time the Hurricanes able to get a little pressure on Scout Outsley when he threw the ball behind Matt Beraldi. Matt made a nice job of reaching around and trying to make a catch. He knocked it down. It looked like one of the Hurricanes might be able to come with an interception if Matt hadn't knocked it down.
It is against MSJ, the penalty. They are talking to the Hartford captain. Legal motion against MSJ, and they are going to accept.
The 5-yard penalty is illegal motion.
MSJ will have it at the Hartford 38.
Taking that penalty, I might have passed that one down and try to limit the Mounties on down because of the way their offense is going. The 5 yards might not be as important as an extra down.
1st and 15 for MSJ, the Hartford 38-yard line. Roseri now is a wing on the left. A couple of setbacks behind Scott Outsley. Outsley play action, rolls right, looking. He throws right, and it goes incomplete. He threw it behind Willie McGrath down around the Hartford 25-yard line. So the Mounties have it 2nd and 15 at the Hurricane 38. Clock stops with 2:59 left first half. MSJ in front, 7-0.
Sometimes Scott Elsley had pretty good time with the Mounties. One of the things they're doing is they're pulling one of the guards, Mike Mulcahy, to come out and act as a bodyguard for Scott Elsley so nobody from the Hurricanes gets near him. And that time Scott had some time but just couldn't connect with the intended receiver McGrath.
Working head tight right, tight left McGrath. Wing right Roseri. Sights and Beraldi the setbacks behind Outsley. 2nd and 15 for the Mounties. Outsley play action, rolls left, looking. He's going to keep 40, 35, 30. Still on his feet inside the 25, down to the Hartford 23-yard line. A pickup of 15, very close to first down yardage for Scott Outsley. John Howard on the tackle for Hartford. They're going to mark it at the Hartford 24, so it picked up about 14, and the Mounties will have it 3rd down and 1.
Again, the Hurricanes getting no containment on the outside. Scott Elsley, seeing his receivers covered downfield, just put the ball underneath his arm and ran downfield. Got a good gain out of it. A little problem with his helmet, so give him time to catch his breath here, but he's back on the huddle now calling the play.
2:18 left first half. The Mounties lead at 7-0. Wide left, Willie McGrath. Birkenhead tight right. Wing right, Roseri. Beraldi in sights of the setbacks. 3rd down and 1 for the Mounties, the Hartford 24-yard line. Scott Outsley gets the snap. Here's the pitch to Sight. Sweeps it right against the grain. Gets a couple enough for a first down. Gets it down to the Hartford 22-yard line. 1st and 10 MSJ. John Howard on the tackle for the Hurricanes. 2 minutes left first half, and MSJ calls for another timeout. I believe that's their final timeout. We'll be back after this 30-second break. It's left first half. The Mounties have it 1st and 10 at the Hartford 22-yard line.
Again, Scott Elsley, unofficially 2 for 6 for 1 interception and 32 yards passing. He's had a couple, probably 3 or 4 long runs, but he's actually gone out to pass the ball and decided he had better chances of running the ball, and able to pick up good games like that way. Hartford's going to have to get some containment on there and force Scott back to the inside when he's rolling out the pass.
Right left McGrath, tight right Birkenhead, Rosario wing on the right. Monty's operated out of the eye behind Scott Ousley. Ousley drops it straight back, looking, fires down the middle, and it is almost intercepted by Yaculo at the 1-yard line. The intended receiver was Pete Rosieri in the end zone, and Yaculo almost picked it up.
That time Scott didn't make a good choice. He threw the ball into coverage, and Yaculo came over from the far side and stepped in and had the ball, and as he took a step, he dropped it. And the Mounties, carefully, they avoided their third turnover.
2nd and 10 for the Mounties at the Hartford 22. Clock stops with 1:54 left first half. Rosieri and Birkenhead both wide left. Ousley drops it back, looking, fires down the middle, complete to Birkenhead. He makes the catch. He's immediately hit at the Hartford 12-yard line, picked up close to 10 yards. Mike Hathorn on the tackle. See where they mark it here. They're going to mark it at the Hartford 11-yard line. And it is a first down for the Mounties. 1st and 10, the Hartford 11. They can pick up the first down without getting the touchdown. Left side Hashmore. Wide right Rosieri. Wide left Willie McGrath. Stevens the up back. Baraldi the deep back out of the eye. Ousley drops it back and he throws left. He goes incomplete. He wanted to go to Willie McGrath. And he overthrew him. It'll be 2nd and 10 for the Mounties, the Hartford 11-yard line. Clock stops with 1:38 left first half. MSJ in front 7-0.
They try to get, they had McGrath split wide, want to get him on a quick slant pattern, and Scott airballed the ball, kind of sailed on him, and went over Willie's head.
Fleming leads him out. He's over the football.
2nd down and 10.
Birkenhead tight right, McGrath tight left. Rosieri wing on the right. The up back is Seitz. The deep back now is Baraldi. Now it's the power eye as Rosieri comes into the backfield. Play action Ousley. Rolls right. He's going to keep. Ousley to the 10. To the 5. Touchdown. Scott Ousley. His second touchdown of the football game. An 11-yard touchdown run by Scott Ousley. And the Mounties go up 13-0. 1:31 left first half.
Gives Scott Ousley showing his athletic ability. He wanted to pass the ball. He had one of his receivers in a flat that was covered, so Scott saw nobody there. Made a beeline to the flag and was able to get in there before he was touched and got the touchdown for the Mounties, his second touchdown rushing of the night.
And here's Matt Curran in to attempt the extra point, outslay the holder. It's 13-0 MSJ. Some breathing room now with 1:31 left first half. The snap is down. The kick by Matt Curran is up and good. It's 14-0 MSJ. Back with a kickoff after this 30-second timeout. What happened? They called a penalty on the extra point. So we're back, and Matt Curran has to start again here. The kick by Matt Curran is up and good. So we got the extra break in there. It's now 14-0 MSJ. They called a penalty against MSJ, and we took the break and came back with the kick. Matt Curran after back 5 yards, and he just did the job again. It's 14-0 MSJ with 1:31 left in the first half here at St. Peter's Field. We'll keep it right here before the kickoff.
The Mounties going 73 yards on that drive, and again, it really showed what Scott Ousley means to this team. He had a couple big pass completions, one to Nate Seitz, one to Ryan Birkenhead. He ran a few times and actually got the touchdown. And the offensive line for the Mounties giving him time to pass the ball and also opening the hole so they can run the ball. And a very impressive drive. The Mounties have been somewhat in control of this game, but really haven't been able to put away the Hurricanes, get themselves a little more breathing room here as they're up 14-0 here with about a minute and a half to go in the first half.
What did they call on that? I never even saw a penalty mark.
I didn't either.
Yaculo and Campos back deep to receive the kick from Matt Curran as the Mounties lead at 14-0. A minute 31 left here, first half. Here's the kick by Matt Curran. It'll go to Campos, and he lets it go by him into the end zone. And an automatic touchback.
I always thought it was a free ball.
I thought it was a free ball, too. I don't think somebody's got to touch that ball. That ball was there in the end zone. Anybody could have recovered it, and they blew it dead. Unless it's one of those obscure rules I don't know about. Once it goes by the goal line, it's an automatic touchback.
I don't know when it goes in high school football. It might be when it goes in the end zone, it's an automatic touchback. But
I guess it must be because that's what they called it. But so Hartford has it 1st and 10 at its own 20-yard line. Hathorn now on the handoff to Duran, sweeps it left, and he's going to lose about a yard. Back to the 19. And there on a nice tackle was Ryan Gragan. Grabbed him right around the knees and brought him down.
We talked about people going to have to pick up their performance because if Mike Ousley is out and Ryan Gragan certainly has him his inside linebacker position. He's been all over the field. That time he was able to get some pursuit from the backside, and he ran down Duran and tackled him for about no gain, actually.
Yeah, actually he got back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 for Hartford, their own 20. The Mounties lead at 14-0. A minute left first half here at St. Peter's Field. Howard a wing on the right. Duran a wing on the left. Campos the lone setback, and now Howard in motion right to left. And it's the inside handoff to Duran. It was the wing back on the left side. He's stuffed. He loses about 3. Nate Seitz there to hit him first. Seitz brought him down.
On the defensive end, Nate Seitz has stepped in the inside linebacker position where Mike Ousley usually plays, and Matt Baraldi stepped up to the outside linebacker position, and Nate's just stepped right up there and read that play beautifully and stuffed him for about a 3-yard loss.
They lost 3. It'll be 3rd and 13 for Hartford, their own 17. Clock running with 25 seconds left first half. The Mounties lead it by a score of 14-0. Couple of touchdowns for Scott Ousley. Wide right, Howard. Campos and Duran to the setbacks. Hathorn back to pass, looking, fires right, it goes incomplete as he wanted to go to Andy Ayotte up around the Hartford 26-yard line, covered well by Scott Ousley. That was a 3rd down play. It'll be 4th and 13 for Hartford at their own 17-yard line with 8 seconds left first half.
If I was Hartford, I might have just done a running play on that time to let the clock run out. But the incomplete pass stops the clock with 8 seconds to go. It's 4th down. Now Hartford has to punt probably. I don't think they can take a chance of not getting something on first downs. They have to punt. I wouldn't be surprised if the Mounties came all out to this one and tried to block it and try to get some a touchdown or a safety before we go into the halftime.
And they do call for a timeout. We'll be back after this 30-second break. They're thinking that they can run down the clock here on just a one running play. MSJ won't have a chance to get one play off here. Hathorn now. Runs it right on the option. Hathorn gets it to the 20. And down at the 22-yard line, his time expires, ending the first half. A whole bunch of Mounties over there to bring him down. Jeremy Fleming was over there. So was Willie McGrath. They had some help. That's the end of the first half here at St. Peter's Field. At halftime, our score, MSJ, at a timeout.
Don't say that.
played for Hartford on the receiving team is on crutches. So Ron Holmes suffering an injury for Hartford. Again, the tri-captains meeting here at midfield. Matt Sharon, Mike Outsley, who are both out with injuries, and Matt Beraldi, who is healthy. Meeting Alamar Brown, Mike Hathorn, and also Byron Lane at midfield. 14-0 MSJ. Again, the Mounties scoring twice in the second quarter. 21-yard touchdown run by Scott Outsley, and 11-yard touchdown run by Scott Outsley. A couple of extra points by Matt Curran.
And looking in front of us is a Mountie player who has his shoulder pads off, icing his shoulder. I'm not sure who that is, Jack. I can't tell without the program. So another Mountie possibly injured.
Well, the Mounties are going to receive the second half kick, too.
Mounties will receive the second half kickoff.
So I don't remember seeing the deferred signal at the beginning of the game, but that undoubtedly is what happened. They did receive the opening kickoff, right?
They did, yeah. They had the good drive to start off and end with the fumble.
So they must have deferred the choice.
We thought sooner or later Hartford would have got the ball unless they're trying to take the wind here.
Yeah, Hartford had the choice, I guess. We were just assuming that Hartford would receive. I don't think there was a deferred choice at the beginning of the game. I can't see where you said somebody was icing their shoulder. I can't.
We're on the left, the 40-yard line.
I can't tell who that is with his shirt off, but it might be Ryan Gregan.
That's why I was
That is Ryan Gregan, okay. Yeah,
I was trying to find out who he was.
Yeah, Ryan Gregan icing his shoulder here.
As we talked about at halftime, Ryan has played an outstanding game. Did a good job on the offensive line, made a lot of big tackles from his inside linebacker position. And the Mounties, one that do have a lot of talented players, do not have a lot of numbers, and they can't afford all these injuries.
Bernie Gower will be doing doing the booting will be Jeff Marino for the Hartford Hurricanes here. MSG going right to left in the third quarter. Hartford going left to right in the third quarter. It will be Gower doing the booting. I'm sorry. So Marino out there as well. Birkenhead, Rosieri, and Beraldi back deep for the Mounties, and this will blow out of bounds here near sideline, right around the Mountie 18-yard line, and Gower will do it again from the 35. 5-yard penalty for kicking the ball out of bounds.
So they're talking to I guess also the Mounties, I think, have the option of taking the ball either where it went out of bounds or making him kick over again. They're going to make him kick over.
So they'll be doing it from the 35. Gower will try again here. 14-0 MSJ, a couple of touchdowns for Mountie quarterback Scott Outsley. He's set for the second half here at St. Peter's Field. Beautiful fall afternoon here in the Rutland area.
We talked about the importance of the Hartford. If they could come out, we thought they were getting the opening kickoff. If they could have got a drive, they're going to cut the lead to 7. If the Mounties can get the ball and go to get a touchdown, they'll be up by 21 points. That's really going to put the Hurricanes in a hole.
So Gower will try again from the 35-yard line for the Hartford Hurricanes here. Hartford does have the wind here in the third quarter. MSJ operating against the wind. And here's the Gower boots. And this goes over the head of Beraldi. He goes back to the 10-yard line and picks it up. Gets it across the 15, and Beraldi gets it to about the 20-yard line before he's dropped. There is a penalty marker down. We'll see what this is all about. This will be holding against MSJ on the run back. As on the tackle was Dennis Barr for Hartford.
The Mounties going to find themselves very much backed up. A good kick there sailed over the deep man's head, and Matt Beraldi went back and got it and never really got going because the timing was thrown off on the blocking, then the holding penalty, and the Mounties going to be definitely backed up way in their inside their, looks like it might be their own 10-yard line.
It would be half the distance to the goal line.
Half the distance to the goal line, so the ball is placed.
MSJ will have it back at its own 7-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Mounties. First play from scrimmage in the second half. The Mounties lead it 14-0. Beraldi, the deep back. Stevens, the up back out of the eye. Wide right, Rosieri. Scott Outsley's gone all the way at quarterback. And Outsley on the deep hand after Beraldi. Straight ahead, gets across the 15, 20, and Matt Beraldi all the way out to the 23-yard line. A pickup of 16 and a Mountie first down. Jeff Marino on the tackle for Hartford along with Mike Hathorn.
Well, so much of the bad field position, Matt Beraldi took care of that on a quick open, and he picked up about 15 yards there and got to the secondary and showed some good speed, some good movement. A nice job there.
They mark it at the left side hash mark. Wide left, Rosieri. Tight left, McGrath. Tight right, Ryan Birkenhead, Beraldi the deep back, Seitz the up back out of the eye. 1st and 10 for the Mounties, their own 23. Deep handoff to Beraldi off left tackle, gets it across the 25 and punched under. And the Mountie 26 picks up about 3. It'll be 2nd and 7 for MSJ.
Number 62 on the tackle.
Payne over there on the tackle for Hartford. Kendall was over there. Duran was over in the general area as well.
Looks like Jason Caruso is in for along the offensive line for Ryan Gregan.
Give him a pickup of close to 5. It'll be 2nd down, a long 5 for the Mounties. Their own 27-yard line. Hand off to Beraldi on right tackle. Has room 35, 40. Beraldi across the 45, down at the Mountie 46-yard line. Another pickup of 16 for Matt Beraldi. And another Mountie first down. Jeremiah Curtis on the stop for Hartford.
If you come out, they turn out to be the Matt Beraldi drive as Matt has carried the ball all 3 times and just picked up some good holes. He picked up the 2nd first down on the drive and just moving the line well as the offensive line of the Mounties, even though they're missing Mike Ousley and Ryan Gregan, doing a good job opening up some big holes.
So it's 1st and 10 for the Mounties, their own 46. That's where they're going to mark it, right side hash mark. They operate out of the eye now. Ousley barks him out. Ousley on the reverse. It goes to Rosieri. Sweeps it left. Penalty markers down. Rosieri to the 50, and Rosieri dropped at the Hartford 48-yard line by Mike Hathorn. Picked up about 6. It would be 2nd and 4, but we'll see what the penalty marker's all about here.
The preliminary signal is holding against the Mounties.
Again, Jason Caruso in for Ryan Gregan.
That play looked like
the offensive line for the Mounties.
It looked like that play was going to get big gain out of it, but Hawthorne able to come up quickly and shut it down, but it's going to turn out to be a loss here for him as they're going to have a holding penalty that's going to back the Mounties up.
Russo in at guard for Ryan Gregan. Well, the Mounties got it into Hartford territory here. But the holding call against the Mountie is 10-yard penalty, and they're going to mark it back to the Mountie 34-yard line.
So brought back to the 34-yard line.
So the Mounties will have it first down at 20.
About 20.
Left side hash mark, McGrath tight left. Craig Ousley is in, he's tied right. They operate out of the eye. Beraldi is wide right. As the handoff goes to Seitz straight ahead. Seitz pulls his way across the 40 to about the 41, stacked up there.
Up to about the 40.
Picked up about 7. Patrick Kendall on the stop for Hartford, and also John Howard. It'll be 2nd down.
2nd and about 15.
Again, running a straight dive play, the Mounties. Nate Seitz been able to get a few yards and showed some good strength there as he moved the pile ahead for a few more yards after he was hit initially.
Mounties actually probably had it 1st and 22, more like that than 1st and 20. They now have it 2nd down and 15 at their own 41-yard line after the 7-yard pickup. Then they operate out of the eye. Rosieri is wide right, long count. Scott Ousley. Ousley goes to the deep man, and Beraldi off right tackle this time. Nothing there, and he loses a couple back to the Mountie 39-yard line. The Mounties will have it 3rd and 17 as
the 3rd down and about
Genrin is in the ball game defensively. Mike Genrin on the tackle.
Coming in for his, it looks like he plays a down lineman position. He got good penetration there, along with a couple of the other interior linemen for the Hurricanes, and stopped them up. Genrin, one of the workhorse running backs for the Hurricanes. I don't think he saw any action in the first half carrying the ball, but seeing some action on the defensive end here in the second half.
Genrin is in. He did not see any action offensively for sure. 3rd down for the Mounties, their own 39. 3rd down about 16 as Ousley barks him out. Ousley play action, drops it back, looking, shoots it left, complete to Seitz inside the 45, 40 down the sideline. It bounced out of bounds, but they're going to say it was out of bounds further back upfield, right around the Hartford 33-yard line or so. Seitz on the receiving end, the pass play from Scott Ousley.
Like a play that worked big for him in the first half. Nate Seitz makes a running play, comes out to the middle, then he cuts to the outside. The linebacker for the Hurricanes is not sticking with him, and he comes over here on the flats, and Scott Ousley delivered a bullet. They get a big gain out of it.
24-yard pickup, and a Mountie first down, 1st and 10 at the Hartford 34-yard line. The pass play from Ousley to Seitz. He tightrope down the sideline, finally went out of bounds. Wide left McGrath, wide right Rosieri. Ousley on the handoff to Beraldi straight ahead. Beraldi inside the 30 and down at about the 25-yard line. Maybe squeezed his way to the 24. Jeff Burrito on the tackle, picked up close to 10. They're going to say about 9. It'll be 2nd and 1 for the Mounties. The Mounties have it at the Hartford 24-yard line. MSJ out in front, 14-0. coming down on 8 minutes left, third quarter.
Just ran a quick opener there, and Matt Beraldi running very hard here in the second half. Again, got about 9 yards on that and broke a couple tackles.
Beraldi is the deep back, Stevens the up back out of the eye. Play action outslang. Looking, fires right, and it is complete to Birkenhead. He's tackled immediately at the Hartford 14-yard line. That picked up 10. It's a Mountie first down. Hathorne there to make the tackle along with Howard. Great catch by Birkenhead as he was hit immediately and hung onto the football.
Scott Elsley delivered the ball right on the money, but Ryan Birkenhead did a good job of catching it and roughing it up quickly as he was hit immediately, but the ball did not come loose. And a good job there by Ryan Birkenhead. He had a couple big catches in the first half.
First and 10, MSJ at the Hartford 14-yard line. The Mounties going right to left here in the third quarter. The operate out of the eye, wide right Rosieri. Elsley barks him out. Deep handoff to Beraldi straight ahead. He's inside the 10, inside the 5, and down to about the 4-yard line. They're going to mark it right around the 5 or so. Picked up 9 yards. It'll be 2nd and 1. Howard on the tackle along with Jeremiah Curtis. They're going to mark it at the 5. So the Mounties have it 2nd and 1 right there with 7:05 left third quarter. They lead at 14-0.
An impressive drive here. You might remember the Mounties started inside their 10-yard line, drove 7 at the penalty on the kickoff, and then overcame another holding penalty on a big 3rd and long.
Stevens the up back, Beraldi the deep back out of the eye. Rosieri is wide right. Second down play for the Hartford 5. Fake to Beraldi, Ousley cuts it inside and gets it down to about the 1-yard line or so before he's dropped. It is a first down, picked up about 4. First and goal for MSJ. Durand on the tackle. They'll mark it at about the 2-yard line. First and goal for MSJ, the Hartford 2.
They faked the play to Beraldi. They've been working successfully all drive long, and Scott Elsley turned it up, and Durand made a nice open field tackle, wrapped up Scott, and then brought him down, but short of the goal line.
Seitz, Stevens are the setbacks along with Rosieri behind Ousley as he barks him out. First and goal for the Mounties. It goes to Seitz straight ahead. Struggling, he's in, touchdown. 2-yard touchdown run for Nate Seitz. The Mounties go up by a score, 20-0.
Nate Seitz doing a good job there. He was hit right at the line of scrimmage, and before the Hurricanes could wrap him up, he was able to spin out. He's done that all game long and bounced into the end zone. And what a way to start the second half. The Mounties go 93 yards and take about almost 5.5 minutes off the clock as they go 93 yards of the opening kickoff.
They're coming with 6:21 left third quarter. The Mounties with a 20-0 lead. Matt Curran will attempt the extra point. Nate Seitz on the 2-yard touchdown run. Most of the work on that drive for Matt Beraldi. And now penalty markers down here. The Mounties take too much time. So they'll mark it back to the 8. Matt Curran, as he did after the last touchdown, will have another extra point from just a little bit farther back.
I think what was impressive on that drive is that Matt Beraldi did a good job running, had some good holes in the offensive line, but the Mounties had that big holding penalty that backed them up, and they had a 3rd and long, and Scott Ousley able to connect with Nate Seitz on a big play to keep the drive going.
Scott Ousley is the holder. Snap is down. The kick by Curran is up, and it is good. Plenty to spare. Sailed out over the fence and past the pickup truck out there. It's 21-0. MSJ back with the kickoff after this 30-second break. Quarter.
Coach St. going to be very impressed with that drive. They went 93 yards, but he said they took up about 5.5 minutes on the clock, and they got 6 points. They did everything you want on that drive.
Kulo and also Campos back deep to receive the current boot here. Kulo's got it at the 15, 20, 25, and squeezes his way out to about the 28-yard line before he's dropped. First and 10 Hartford at that point. They got their hands on the football for the first time here in the second half. Down there to make the stop. Giuliano was down there. Willie McGrath was down there as well.
Hurricanes definitely have their work cut out for them now. They're down 21 points, and as of yet, they have knocked it on their scoreboard. They've got their ways to go. That long drive definitely gave the Mounties a lot of momentum.
Hartford has it first and 10. It's zone 29. Handoff to Campos. Takes it left. Nothing there. He's going to lose a couple. Matt Beraldi, Ryan Birkenhead, both over there to make the stop. See if they give him his forward progress back to the line of scrimmage. They are. It'll be 2nd and 10 for MSJ at their own 29-yard line. 2nd and 10 for Hartford, I should say, at their own 29-yard line. As the Mounties are on the defensive end for the first time here in the second half. Mounties have the lead, 21-0, 5:35 left third quarter.
Matt Veraldi stepped in the inside linebacker position now for Ryan Gregan, and looks like Craig Stevens is in the other linebacker.
And off goes to Campos. Nothing new as he took it off left tackle. Back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd and 10 for the Hartford Hurricanes. He was over there. Greg Ousley was over there as well on the tackle.
Greg Ousley able to get some penetration from his defensive end position and knock the lineman back into the running back and stopped him for no gain. Maybe got about a yard.
3rd down, close to 10 for Hartford, their own 29-yard line. Campos, the lone setback. Durant is a wing on the right. Actually, Durant a setback now, too. Double reverse as Durant handed it off to the man coming up from the wingback side. It was John Howard. He got nothing. Back to the line of scrimmage. Keith Kaloje on the tackle.
About a yard for 4th down.
About a yard up to the 30, and that was it. So the Mounties impressive defensively here on the first Hartford offensive series of the second half. Hartford will have it 4th and 9. They'll have to boot it away.
Hartford's run that play 4 or 5 times. I don't think it's worked for them all day.
So back to punt is Ayotte, back inside his own 20 to either Birkenhead or Brazieri right around the Mountie 40. And we got penalty markers down here.
A couple of the linemen for the Mounties look like they jumped off sides.
In the neutral zone, the 5-yard penalty.
If indeed they did, it would be 4th down about 4 for Hartford at their own 35-yard line.
Again, the Mounties have had a few nagging penalties, but other than the fact that it cost them a touchdown, the Scott Elsley interception when they got the roughing the passer, on offensively, they've been able to overcome the penalties.
Ayotte again back to boot. The snap a little low. Ayotte gets the boot away, but pops it up. It will hit in Hartford territory. Bounce across the 50 and rolled in at the MSJ 46-yard line. So the Mounties will go on the offense. 1st and 10. Their own 46. MSJ out front 21-0. 3:58 left, 3rd quarter here at St. Peter's Field. Mike Ousley did not play today. He was out of the starting lineup originally. On the first play from scrimmage, Matt Sharon was hurt. He's out. Ryan Gregan has been injured. He's out. We've seen action here in the second half. And now Willie McGrath has been injured as they're administering to him, too. He was putting pressure on Ayotte, but McGrath is up. It's one of those games, you know, a non-league game. You have a big game coming up next week against Mount Anthony, and of course, you want to win the football game. You want to win all your games. But on the other hand, you want to stay healthy for the big one coming up next week.
Yes, a lot of people talking around the 3 top teams of the Southern Division. Obviously, the Mounties here, the Raiders of Rutland, and also the down in Mount Anthony down in Bennington. And a big game for the Mounties if they go against Bennington next week.
McGrath, though, came off under his own power. So Greg Ousley is in. He's wide left. Bencher Jason Caruso in at the guard spot for Ryan Gregan. Slot left for Zeri. Veraldi and Stevens are the setbacks behind Scott Ousley. 1st and 10, Mounties their own 46. Hand off to Stevens off right tackle. Gets it to the 50. Breaks the tackle. 45, 40. 45, 40. And finally rolled out of bounds right around the Hartford 23-yard line. Great run by Stevens. He was run out of bounds by Jeremiah Curtis.
Okay, this just shows the depth, the running back position. That last drive it was all Matt Veraldi. They bring in Craig Stevens, and he immediately bust one for about 40 yards down the far sideline. Well, a 34-yard pickup and a Mountie 1st down.
Pickup of about 34 yards.
1st and 10 for MSJ, the Hartford 24. MSJ out front 21-0. 3:32 left, 3rd quarter. McGrath is okay. He's back in tight left. Tight right is Birkenhead, wide right Brazieri. The up back Stevens, deep back Veraldi. Out of the eye is Ousley. Marks him out, and we have penalty markers down here. Somebody jumped offsides. And it was MSJ.
Look at them pointing to Willie McGrath.
In the neutral zone.
Illegal procedure against MSJ, so they'll have it 1st and 15 at the Hartford 29-yard line.
1st and 15.
Again, the Mountie offensive line impressive.
And what's more impressive, in fact, is that their 2 starting guards, Ryan Gregan and Mike Ousley, are not playing, and Mike Mulcahy and Jason Caruso have done a good job of stepping up and filling their slots.
Wide right, Brazieri. They operate out of the eye. Scott Ousley marks him out. Ousley deep hand out to Veraldi. Takes it up the middle. Gets it inside the 25, down to about the 21-yard line before he's dropped. Picked up of 8.
21-yard line.
And the Mounties will be faced with a 2nd down and about 7. Patrick Kendall on the tackle along with Mike Jenner, who is playing defensively for Hartford.
Again, to give you an idea what kind of dominance the Mounties have, they're leading 21-0. Unofficially, we have them for about 15 first downs. That just shows how they're just controlling the ball on the line of scrimmage. As of yet, I don't think they've punted it all game.
Got off to a slow start today in the early going, but they've been impressive since. Again, they operate out of the I. Missouri, the deep back, sights the up back. Fake the sights, outslay, and he takes it against the grain on the option and gets it to him off the 17, picks up 4. John Howard on the tackle. And MSJ will be faced with a 3rd down and about 4 at the Hartford 17-yard line. Offensive line, Jeremy Fleming, the center. You mentioned Mike Mulcahy and Jason Garuso at the guards, Kurt Esposito and Keith Galoje at the tackles. And again, an outstanding job by that superb offensive line.
That's where it all starts. You can't do anything unless there's holes there for people to run through.
He's 3rd and 4, the Hartford 17. Outslay on the handoff to Stevens, and he gets about a yard to the 16. The Mounties will be faced with a 4th down and about 3. On the tackle, Jeremy DeGrasse for Hartford.
DeGrasse did a good job of submarining through there, tripping up the pulling guard, also the running back, and Stevens didn't get much of a hole to run through.
They mark it at the left side hash mark now. The Mounties in 4-down territory. 4th and 3 at the Hartford 16-yard line. Rosieri and Birkenhead both wide right. Veraldi the deep back. Stevens the up back out of the I. Slade barks him out. Stevens in motion now, or sights rather in motion, right to left. And the throw over the middle, complete to McGrath at the 7. And McGrath is down to above the 4-yard line. Little toss over the middle, and wide open was Willie McGrath as Outsley with the easy toss to McGrath. And it picked up 12 yards and an MSJ 1st down, 1st and goal at the Hartford 4-yard line.
What made that play work so well is when Seitz went in motion, he took the linebacker on that side out, and Willie McGrath went a quick slam from his tight end position, and Scott moved the ball right in the money, and then Willie able to ramble through for an extra few yards.
Stevens and Veraldi are the setbacks now. McGrath and Rosieri both wide left as Outsley barks him out. We got penalty markers down.
There's a flag on the play.
And this one will be going against MSJ as well.
Lined up in the neutral zone.
Mounties offsides. We'll have it 1st and goal at the Hartford 9.
I'm not sure on that particular play if one of the interior linemen for the Mounties might have lined off offsides because they didn't snap the ball. They already had called it. Once the lineman gets set, he will not be able to change his position.
Again, McGrath and Rosieri wide left. Stevens and Veraldi are the setbacks behind Scott Outsley as he barks him out. Gets the snap, handoff to Stevens off right tackle, and he gets it to about the 7, picks up a couple. It'll be 2nd and goal. 46 seconds left, 3rd quarter, 21-0 MSJ. Andrew Thorburn on the stop for Hartford.
And the Mounties doing nothing really fancy on this drive, just using that, taking advantage of that strong offensive line and running plays between the tackles, and for the most part getting some good gains.
McGrath wide left, slot left is Rosieri. Stevens and Veraldi the setbacks behind Scott Outsley. 2nd and goal, Mounties, the Hartford 7-yard line. The fake to Stevens. Outsley takes it right on the option toward the far sideline, and he's in. Touchdown. 7-yard touchdown run for Scott Outsley, his 3rd of the afternoon, and MSJ leads it 27-0.
Again, the Mounties just, they went that time 54 yards. They had a couple pass plays on that, but again, doing it on the round. All game, Scott Outsley has faked the handoff, and the defensive ends for the Hurricanes are crashing in, and they're not getting any containment with Scott's outstanding speed. He's able to turn the corner and get the touchdown, his 3rd touchdown running of the game.
So again, Matt Curran in to attempt the extra point as the Mounties now lead at 27-0. 14 seconds left, 3rd quarter here at St. Peter's Field. Snap is down, penalty markers down, though Hartford, I believe, jumped offsides this time.
Hawthorne was out. He's wide on the on a kick blockage team, and he came across the full snap early and would have easily blocked it, but it was called for offsides.
So it'll be half the distance to the goal line. And Matt Curran will kick this one from a little bit closer.
So far, the Mounties have had scoring drives of 59 yards, 73 yards. In this half alone, they've had a 93-yard drive and a 54-yard drive.
Snap is down. The kick by Curran is up, and the kick is good. MSJ leads at 28-0. Back with a kickoff after this 30-second timeout. Martin, we're at St. Peter's Field, and MSJ in control. The Mounties lead the Hartford Hurricanes by a score of 28-0. A 7-yard touchdown run on the option by Scott Outsley, his third touchdown of the afternoon. Curran with the extra point. 28-0 MSJ. Niculo back deep along with Campos for Hartford, and here's Matt Curran's boot. Really gets the foot into this one. And Campos back to the 11-yard line. 15, 20, 25, and he gets it out to about the 30-yard line before he's dropped. Trevor Wolf down there. Tim Brisbane was down there as well on the stop. Also down in the general area, Chris Woods on the stop. And Hartford will have it 1st and 10 at his own 30. And I don't believe they'll be able to run a play off here. That is the end of the third quarter. After 3, our score, MSJ 28, Hartford nothing. We'll be back after this 30-second break. Slow start today, but that's the only negative for them. They lead at 28-0 over Hartford as we get set for the fourth quarter. Hartford going right to left here in the fourth quarter. MSJ left to right. Hartford has it 1st and 10, its own 29-yard line, and we got penalty markers down here.
In the third quarter there, the Hartford Hurricanes ran 3 offensive plays, and the Mounties were able to put on 4.
The 5-yard penalty, so it's 1st and 15 from the 25-yard line.
Lost it again.
Hawthorne was questionable as quarterback today. He is the regular Hartford quarterback.
Robert McDougall, number
Rob
20.
McDougall. He is the new Hartford quarterback. That penalty against the Hurricanes, marking it back to the 24-yard line, 1st and 15 for Hartford. McDougall gets the snap, throws over the middle, complete. And he is going to race all the way. He's at the 5, touchdown. Robert McDougall, the new Hartford quarterback, stepped back and found Andy Ayotte all by himself, and Ayotte going 76 yards for the touchdown, a 76-yard touchdown pass from McDougall to Ayotte, and it's 28-6 MSJ. That is the first touchdown scored against MSJ this season. First points they've allowed.
A quick slant there, and Scott Ousley went for the interception and just missed it, and Ayotte able to hold on to it, and he was off to the races. A couple of the Mounties gave chase, but they couldn't track him down. He had about a 15-yard head start, and that's, as Jack said, the first touchdown given up today, but first all season by the
extra point attempt has been blocked. Ernie Gower, but we got penalty markers down. Ernie Gower, the kicker for Hartford. However, the penalty is against MSJ for offsides. So Robert McDougall came back and threw it left, and Ayotte just grabbed it. He was all by himself. There was no question. There was a slight question that he might have been caught from behind, but for the most part, I had no doubt he was going to go all the way.
Good job. That's going to give McDougall one heck of a quarterback rating, 1-for-1 with a 76-yard touchdown pass, and that will definitely help him in the quarterback rating thing. A good job there. Ayotte had good concentration. We said Scott Ousley almost had the interception, but Ayotte able to keep his eye on the ball and corral it.
Now Hartford going for the 2 points as they're half the distance to the goal line. Robert McDougall barks him out. McDougall drops it back, rolls right, throws into the end zone, complete to Durand for the 2 points. So Hartford getting the 2-point pass play from McDougall to Jeremy Durand. And MSJ leads at 28-8, back with a kickoff after this 30-second timeout. This season, they went 3 games and 3 quarters. And here's Gower with the onside kick, and does it go 10? It rolls out of bounds, and it didn't go 10 yards anyway. It rolls out of bounds at the Hartford 47-yard line. It bounced over Keith Kalojay's head. And as a matter of fact, Hartford now gets an opportunity to kick again because it rolled out of bounds, and it's a penalty.
Scott Ousley said, we want the ball right here.
Yeah, MSJ has a choice, of course, so they get the football, 1st and 10, at the Hartford 47. Well, you know, coming into the games this weekend, both Rutland and MSJ were 3-0 and unscored upon. Of course, Rutland giving up a couple of touchdowns last night. MSJ here today. Unscored upon is fun to talk about for a while early in the season, but I think as the season progresses, it's one of those things you just don't want around your neck the rest of the year. So, you know, they don't have to worry about that anymore. Now they can just concentrate on winning football games. First and 10 for the Mounties. The Hartford 48 is where they mark it. As the handoff goes to Beraldi and he gets it back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be second and 10 MSJ. Quinn and Colgan on the stop for Hartford.
Be interested to see how the Mounties react. They do have the game comfortably in position in the hole. They're up 28-8, but they were hoping, as Jackson, you talk about going scoreless the whole season. You know you're going to give up a touchdown sooner or later, but just to see how they react, they were a little surprised. It was a big play, a quick tight end pass, and Scott Ousley almost had an interception. We said, and McDougal caught the ball and ran in for a touchdown, and we'll see how they react and kind of get focused here for the rest of the season.
Second, a little over 10 for the Mounties, the Hartford 48-yard line. The lone setback, Seitz, and Seitz gets the call straight ahead, and Seitz squeezes his way down to the Hartford 45, picks up about 3. It'll be third down and 7. There's punts on the tackle. You knew that guy would play football, huh?
It's a good football name. Also announced at this point, we talked about the Mounties, but they do have the game in control. They need to get their offense back going here. Also, there's a lot of scouts here from the other teams, and again, Coach Zengali want to give them something to look at. He'll run some different formations in some plays he might not normally run, just to give the opposing scouts something to look at.
3 wideouts left, a lone setback. It is Seitz behind Outsley. Third down and 7 for the Mounties, the Hartford 45-yard line. Outsley throws it left. Nice juggling catch by Ryan Birkenhead down at the Hartford 43-yard line. After all that, it only picked up a couple. The Mounties will be faced with a fourth down. Did he ever catch it or not?
I thought he did.
Well, he got it back to the line of scrimmage.
I thought he made a nice catch.
The clock stops.
Well, I guess he did.
So it must have gone incomplete. Thought he caught it from here. So it'll be fourth down for the Mounties of the Hartford 45-yard line. Fourth down and 7. Scott Outsley back to punt. The first punt for MSJ here this afternoon. He's back at his own 43-yard line. Snap is a good one, and he gets the punt away.
A punt by Outsley. Brought down, out of bounds.
8-yard line.
On about the 18-yard line of Hartford.
I tell you what, this is a tough game to be a tri-captain for the Mounties. Going into the game, Mike Outsley was... Sharon got hurt. We noticed that Matt Beraldi is over on the sideline now getting his ankle retained.
First and 10 that they're up 17-yard line, 28-8 MSJ with 10:18 left in the game. Another thing is, with Anthony coming up next week, you want to concentrate on winning the football game and don't worry about whether you've given up any points. And Hartford is offsides here. Howard moved. It'll be a legal procedure. John Howard, who was a wing on the left side. So Hartford will be faced with a first and 15 back at their own 12-yard line.
It looks like Mike Jedron seeing some time at the fullback position for the Hurricanes. We told before the game he was doubtful as a running back. We saw him on the defensive end a few times, and now he's going to be getting some reps on the offensive side.
Yep, Jedron, a fullback. He's a 5'10", 240-pound senior. And he's seen some action defensively. He's now in the backfield. Robert McDougal, who threw that touchdown pass to Ayat, the quarterback. Duran now, along with Jedron, the setbacks. Howard, a wing on the right. As McDougal marks him out. McDougal now drops it back, rolls right, throws right, and the pass is complete to Ayat at the 20, and Ayat gets it out to the 24-yard line. It was almost picked off by Scott Outsley. Tim Brisbane was there too, and Ayat came down with it, a great juggling catch. And Hartford will have it at its own 24. It picked up 12. It will be second down and about 5. And is this...
Birkenhead said, "This looks like Ayat might be down for the Hurricanes." As both players went down, and McDougal kind of laid that one up there, and it looked like the Menace might get another interception, but Chris Ayat did it. The Hurricanes, they picked up about 10 yards on that.
They're going to mark it at the Hartford 24-yard line. The line of scrimmage was the 12. They picked up about 12, but that would tell you it'd be second and 3, but it's looks more like second and 5. Birkenhead is coming out of the football game, but he's okay. One of those games you really live in fear of. You have things, as Keith Cannella comes in, you have things in control, but you don't. MSJ here today, perhaps the most serious one to Matt Sharon and Ryan Gregan, as Gregan hasn't played here in the second half. Sharon played the first play from scrimmage. He was hurt, hasn't played since.
Ayot's still down there administering him, the Hartford receiver, and he and McDougall have been quite a combination in the second half. They're 2 for 2 for 88 yards and 1 touchdown.
They are still administering to Andy Ayot. 28-8, MSJ, 10:01 left in the game here. And while we have the injury timeout, let's take this 30-second timeout. 55, Ayot is okay as he was helped off the field across the way. Dougal now on the end around and getting his way to about the 26, and that is it for the Hartford Hurricanes. On the end around was Chris Dutremble, seeing his first action. Picked up just a couple. It'll be 3rd down, about 2 for Hartford. Keith Canella, who just checked in, making the stop. Birkenhead is in now, and Canella's out, so Birkenhead's okay.
The Hurricanes have tried a lot of misdirections, a lot of reverses and things like that. They really haven't worked that way. That means that the Mountie defense is doing a good job of reading reverses. Also, everybody's holding position. They're not over-pursuing.
3rd down, about 2 for Hartford. The ball at the Hartford 26-yard line. MSJ out front, 28-8. Durand and Degenerate of the setbacks behind McDougall. Howard is the wing on the right. McDougall barks him out. Second string Hartford quarterback. The give to Durand, switch to right, then against the grain, he gets it back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Larry Hare over there to wrap him up for MSJ.
Looks like he's going to be short of the... they're going to bring the chains in. It's going to be a little short here. It'll be 4th down for Hartford.
4th and 2. They got it back to the line of scrimmage. They have it at their own 26-yard line. 8:30 left in the game here. Apparently they're going to go for it here. A little surprising. If they're going to go for it on 4th down, wide run on 3rd down.
Yeah, I guess they were hoping to kind of catch the Mounties off guard.
At any rate, they're going to go for it. 4th and 2 for Hartford, their own 26-yard line. Dougal keeps, takes it straight ahead, but I don't know. I don't think he made it. Maybe a yard. Jeremy Fleming was there on the stop.
To the 1st down.
Hartford's a couple of surprising things here. If Jenner is injured, why would they bring him in when they have the second-team quarterback in if he's usually their first-team running back?
He only got a yard. They're going to call for a measurement anyway here. I think he's shy by about a yard. MSJ would take over on downs, but they are going to call for the measurement here. And MSJ takes over on downs. He is a yard shy after all that. MSJ has it 1st and 10, the Hartford 27-yard line.
We know that Matt Brawley just checked back in the lineup for the Mounties. He had his ankle retaped, but he seems to be running all right. And Matt has done a good job here all game long, running offensively, also making some big tackles defensively.
Tight right is Birkenhead, tight left McGrath. Baraldi in sights of the setbacks. The wing on the left for Zeri. Scott Outslay's gone all the way at quarterback, and the Mounties jump off sides.
It's about the
the right tackle to the right end.
It's happened a lot here for the Mounties. We keep harping on this, but they keep having these penalties on the offensive end. At this point in the season, they're so much stronger than their opposition. They're able to overcome them. But next week against a tough team like Mount Anthony, and also when they meet the Raiders later on, they're going to be careful of these things because it's going to be tough. They can't afford to give away yardage.
1st and 15 for the Mounties, the Hartford 32. They mark it at the left side hash mark. In sights of Baraldi of the setbacks. Rosario wing on the left. The ends are tight. Play action Outslay. Drops it back. Being chased. Gets out of trouble. Takes it to the 30 and dives his way to the 26-yard line. Turned something out of nothing. Picked up 6. John Howard on the tackle. It'll be 2nd and 9 for MSJ.
It looked like they had Outslay trapped for a big loss, but Scott able to escape out there and turn something, got about a yard out of it, and did a good job. John Howard on the tackle with the Hurricanes, and he's done a really good game. Kind of a tough cause for the Hurricanes. He's made a lot of tackles and done a good job for the Hartford team.
Give him 5. It'll be 2nd and 10. They're going to mark it at the Hartford 27-yard line. Outslay. Play action. Looking. Being chased. Double pumps. Throws. It is complete to Birkenhead at the Hartford 9-yard line. Nice catch by Birkenhead. He immediately went to his knees. The pass play from Outslay to Birkenhead, covering 18 yards, and a Mountie first down. They have it 1st and goal at the Hartford 10.
Again, Scott Ousley able to buy himself some time. He had Nate Sites open in the flats, but Scott started downfield, and Ryan Birkenhead did a good job of working himself free, and delivering it right on the money, and Ryan's made about 4 catches today. Done a good job.
Missouri, a wing on the left. Stevens and Beraldi, the setbacks. And we have penalty markers down. Somebody jumped off sides. Did MSJ draw Hartford off sides? Apparently so, because the offsides call is against MSJ. They have it first and goal at the Hartford 15. 6:37 left in the game. MSJ out front 28-8.
One of the things that the Hartford defense does is they come out and line up in their positions, and they all kind of shift over a gap, either to the right or the left. And when they're doing that, it's drawing the Mounties off on the offensive end. It's happened to 5 or 6 times today.
Jeremy Fleming leads the Mounties over the football. McGrath tight left, Birkenhead tight right. Mounties operate out of the power eye. Beraldi is the deep back. Seitz and Stevens are the up backs. Not Ousley gets the snap. Deep handoff to Beraldi, takes it straight ahead. And he gets it to about the line of scrimmage, and that's it. It'll be second and goal for the Mounties at the Hartford 15. Punt on the tackle, along with Jenryn for Hartford.
Again, that time, Jenryn did a good job of getting penetration and got behind the Mounties offensive line and stopped Matt Beraldi for no gain.
Missouri in and Seitz out for MSJ. Clock running with 5:45 left in the game, and MSJ in control. The Mounties lead Hartford 28-8. Mounties have it second and goal at the Hartford 15-yard line. Again, the Mounties operate out of the power eye behind Scott Ousley. Ousley marks him out, play action, and then he pitches it back to Missouri. It gets behind him all the way out to the 32-yard line or so. Missouri managed to pounce on it. Either that or it might have gone out of bounds. It was in front of the Mountie bench. No, he must have pounced on it because the clock is still running, but it lost about 15 yards back to the Hartford 30-yard line. Actually, I said play action. It was really the option as Ousley pitched it back, but over the head of Pete Missouri. So now the Mounties are faced with a third and goal at the Hartford 30. They're going to put it in the end zone.
That time, Scott Ousley got banged up very hard just as he pitched the ball to Missouri and threw it behind him. And Missouri did a good job of running it down and recovering it for the turnover.
They're down play now. Scott Ousley barks him out. Ousley play action, rolls left, being chased, and he decides to keep 30, 25, 20, 15, and all the way down to the Hartford 11-yard line. Mike Hathorn on the tackle.
As we've seen all game, Scott Ousley rolling out, his receivers covered, puts the ball underneath his arm and takes off. That time he got a nice downfield block by Nate Seitz, and Scotty will cut back into the middle of the field. And he did get the first down, but picked up quite a bit of yardage, and now put him in a manageable fourth down situation.
19-yard pickup. They can't pick up the first down. They got to get into the end zone because that was a third and goal. Now fourth and goal for the Mounties. The Hartford 11. We got a timeout on the field. Back after this 30-second break. 8, 4:22 left in the game. It is fourth and goal for MSJ at the Hartford 11-yard line. Yes, that is Coach Sabatasso out there with the
Sabatasso. He's the offensive coordinator. He goes out there and he runs the offensive, calls the offensive plays. Did a good job of mixing things up, and Scott Ousley is coming off. It looks like Matt Kern will try a field goal here as the Mounties on have a fourth and about 10 yards to go for the touchdown for their 10-yard line.
Well, they mark it at the 11th, fourth and goal. Let's see where Matt will mark it down. McGrath will be the holder. They're going to mark it at the 17-yard line, so it is a 27-yard field goal attempt for Matt Kern. Slight angle off to the left. McGrath puts it down. The kick by Kern is up, and the kick is good. 27-yard field goal for Matt Kern, and MSJ goes up 31-8. Back with a kickoff after this 30-second timeout.
Fourth down inside their own 30-yard line. He came up a little bit short and gave the Mounties excellent field position.
So Matt Kern now with the kick, and he gets this deep to Campos. The 12 gets it across the 15, 20, 25. Gets it across the 30 and finally dropped at the Hartford 34-yard line. Coming down there to make the hit was Scott Soretta.
And the Mounties got the field goal last time. We noticed looking on the bench, Scott Ousley is sitting on the bench talking to the trainer. Scott, you might remember, got really hit hard when he ran that option play, the one that went a knot for when Missouri recovered the fumble. They had the long run, and he looks a little bit groggy, and he's not on the defensive end right now.
Of course, he's usually the holder, and McGrath was the holder on that 27-yard field goal by Matt Kern. First and 10, Hartford, their own 34. McDougal, the quarterback, goes to Jenryn on left tackle. Gets a couple of the 36, a whole bunch there to drive him back. They Nate Seitz was over there. Missouri was over there. Larry Hare over there. Mulcahy over there.
I think at this point, Coach Singali just can't wait for this game to get over and kind of check his injury list to find out how his troops are doing. It's been a hard-hitting game. A couple of players have gone down with injuries, and he wants to get through the game before any more happen.
2nd and 8 for Hartford. Their own 36 as that picked up 2. Howard comes wide left and wide right as well. Durand and Campos the setbacks. Here's the quick out, and it is complete for just a couple of yards out of the flat to Jeff Moreno. Matter of fact, picked up about a yard, got it to the 37. Birkenhead on the tackle. It'll be 3rd down and about 6 for the Hartford Hurricanes. They're going to mark it at the Hartford 38. 2:47 left in the game. MSJ out in front, 31-8.
McDougall's done a good job here for passing in the 3rd quarter. He's 3 for 3. He's got about 90 yards of passing. You remember he had the long 76-yard touchdown pass to Wyatt.
McDougall, the quarterback. Now it is Jeff Hall going wide right. Little slot on the right as well as McDougall barks him out. McDougall play action, drops it back, throws left, and it is complete at the 50, and down at the 48-yard line is Shane Newton. And he was tackled by Mulcahy and Brisbane. They were there. It's 1st and 10 for Hartford at the Mountie 48-yard line. That picked up about 14 yards. The pass play from McDougall to Newton.
Again, McDougall showing a nice touch there. He caught Newton out in the flats, and he was able to corral the ball and pick up a couple yards more before he was brought down by a couple of the Mountie defenders.
We got 2 minutes left in the game. MSJ 31, Hartford 8. Wide left now, Jeff Hall. Yaculo is in. He's a slot right. Campos the lone setback. Yaculo is in motion now. He's back to pass McDougall. Shoots it down the middle, and it goes incomplete. He underthrows Durand. Down around the Mountie 23. Durand was covered nicely by Tim Brisbane. 2nd and 10, Hartford at the Mountie 48. Durand, or Durand, if you will, and we call him Durand. Jeremy Durand for the Hartford Hurricanes.
That time McDougall didn't quite have enough arm. The ball kind of aired up there. It looked like the wind might have knocked it down a little bit, but Durand did a good job of trying to come back and make the catch. Almost did it, but Tim Brisbane had excellent coverage that time for the Mounties.
Minute 47, clock stops with that much time left here in the football game. 31-8 MSJ. Yaculo and Campos the setbacks behind McDougall now. McDougall barks him out. We got penalty markers down here. Whistles blow. It's probably delay of game. Yep. Delay of game against Hartford. So they'll have it 2nd and 15. Back in their own territory.
Against Hartford.
At their own 46-yard line.
It's easy to see why Hartford has had such success in Division II. They're a strong team. They've got good size, pretty good speed. They're a hard-hitting team on the offensive end. They have not made a turnover in this game, and have actually cost a couple. They got a recovered fumble against the Mounties, also an interception. So they play error-free ball and also caused a couple turnovers in there. Team is going to be reckoned for in the Division 1AA series.
Moreno is wide right now. They got a double wingback set up. And Yaculo going to Durand on the double reverse fumble. And the Mounties have recovered at the Hartford 41-yard line. Let us see who recovered the fumble. I never did catch it.
I guess that's kind of like when a guy goes to the foul line, you say he's a good foul shooter, and he misses the foul shot. We just talked about how they don't make any turnovers, and they have a mix-up here on the backups. They try to run a little reverse there, and the Mounties get their first turnover of the game.
Apparently, Nate Seitz was the guy that recovered the fumble. Matt Curran, the new Mountie quarterback. The Mounties have it 1st and 10, the Hartford 41. Minute 27 left in the game. MSJ out in front, 31-8. Curran, the quarterback. He has Missouri wide right. The up back Stevens, deep back Feraldi. The ends are tight. They operate out of the eye, hand off to Feraldi on right tackle. And he gets about 3 down to the 38-yard line. Give him 4 to the 37. It'll be 2nd and 6. Jeff Hall on the tackle for Hartford.
Matt Curran getting a little run here. This is backup quarterback also. Scott Oswald, he said a little groggy on the sideline, and Coach Singali not want to take any chance. Also give Matt Curran a chance to get some plays across.
50 seconds left in the game. 31-8. MSJ wide left for Zuri. Tight right, Birkenhead. Tight left, Willie McGrath. Matt Curran barks him out, gets the snap. Curran goes to Beraldi off left tackle inside the 35, down to about the 33-yard line, picks up 4. Stacked up right there. And Jeff Payne on the tackle for Hartford. It'll be 3rd down and about 3 for MSJ. 18 seconds left in the game.
Looks like that might be the last play the Mounties run. And again, Coach Zingali going to be very pleased with his team as they did give up their first touchdown of the year, but they improved to 4-0 on the year.
That'll be it. 5 seconds left. And they are not going to run off a play here. MSJ has won it by a score of 31-8 over the Hartford Hurricanes. And MSJ moves to 4-0 on the year. And the Hurricanes now are 2-2 on the year. The Mounties with a 31-8 victory, and they can get set for Mount Anthony here at St. Peter's Field. The big Division I showdown a week from today. The Mount Anthony Patriots in town, a game that we'll have for you beginning at 1:15, kickoff time at 1:30. Recapping the scoring, 9:39 left in the half, a 21-yard touchdown run on the quarterback option by Scott Outsley as MSJ went up 6-0. Matt Curran with a kick to make it 7-0 MSJ. Minute 31 left in the half, an 11-yard touchdown run by Scott Outsley. As he went back to pass, couldn't find anybody open, and he took it in. As the Mounties went up 13-0, Curran with a kick to make it 14-0 MSJ. And that was the score at halftime. In the third quarter, 6:21 left in the quarter. A 2-yard touchdown run by Nate Seitz as the Mounties went up 20-0. Curran with a kick to make it 21-0 MSJ. 14 seconds left in the quarter. Scott Outsley with his 3rd touchdown of the afternoon. 7-yard touchdown run on the option to put the Mounties up 27-0. Matt Curran with a kick to make it 28-0 MSJ. In the fourth quarter, with 11:49 left in the game, the Mounties giving up their first points of the 1991 season. A 76-yard touchdown pass by Hartford's Robert McDougall to Andy Ayotte. That made it 28-6 MSJ. McDougall hooked up to Duran on the 2-point conversion. The pass play to make it 28-8 MSJ. Then Matt Curran hit a 27-yard field goal for MSJ with 4:17 left in the game to make it 31-8 MSJ. That turned out to be the final score.